Some objects are never meant to be owned. Some boxes should never be opened. This is the terrifying true story of a cursed relic that brought suffering, misfortune, and death to all who encountered it. This is the curse of the Dybbuk Box. It all started in 2001 when antique shop owner Kevin Mannis attended an estate sale in Portland, Oregon. Among the old furniture and trinkets was a peculiar wooden wine cabinet with strange Hebrew carvings on its doors. Something about it felt off. The seller, an elderly woman, seemed eager to be rid of it. But before Kevin could leave, she gave him a chilling warning. The box had belonged to her grandmother, a Holocaust survivor from Poland. She had always kept it sealed, whispering prayers over it, warning that it should never be opened. Kevin, skeptical but intrigued, took it back to his shop. That night, curiosity got the better of him. Inside, he found strange objects: a dried rosebud, a small golden goblet, 2 wheat pennies, a candle holder. But as soon as he lifted the lid, the air changed. A putrid stench filled the room, a mix of rotting flowers and ammonia. The lights flickered. A strange coldness crept over him. That night, the nightmares began. Kevin dreamed of an old woman, her eyes sunken and black, her mouth moving in silent screams. He woke up in terror, gasping for breath. But when he sat up, he noticed something disturbing. His arms were covered in bruises, as if someone had grabbed him in his sleep. From that moment on, everything went wrong. Objects moved on their own. The whispering started. Low, unintelligible murmurs that grew louder when he was alone. His health deteriorated. Headaches, exhaustion, an overwhelming sense of dread. Visitors to his shop felt sick. Some turned pale the moment they stepped inside, unable to explain the sudden feeling of terror. Kevin soon learned the horrifying truth. The Dybbuk Box wasn't just an antique. It was a prison. According to Jewish folklore, a Dybbuk is a malevolent spirit, one that latches onto the living, feeding off their fear and suffering. Once it attaches, it never lets go. Terrified, Kevin sold the box, but the curse only spread. The next owner, a college student, lasted only days. He suffered from the same nightmares: the old woman, the whispering, the overpowering stench. But then, something worse happened. One night, he noticed a shadow in the corner of his dorm. At first, he thought it was a trick of the light, but when he turned off his lamp, it moved. The shadow twisted unnaturally, creeping toward him. He swore he could hear it breathing. Terrified, he sold the box again, and so it passed from person to person, leaving a trail of horror. Some suffered violent illness, unexplained nosebleeds, and full body rashes. Others reported waking up with deep scratches on their skin. One woman claimed she saw the old woman's face in her reflection, whispering in a voice not her own. Then came Jason Haxton, a museum curator. Unlike the others, he wanted to study the box. He sealed it away, believing he could contain its evil. But almost immediately, Jason became violently sick. Severe migraines, choking fits, internal bleeding. His house became a nightmare, furniture shifting, whispers in the dark, an unseen force grabbing him in his sleep. One night, Jason woke up paralyzed. A dark figure loomed over his bed, its eyes burning with malice. He knew he had to act. Jason locked the Dybbuk Box inside a reinforced glass case, surrounded by protective sigils. To this day, it remains sealed away. But even now, those who come too close report an unbearable pressure on their chest, a sense of something watching, waiting, whispering. And the most terrifying part, even people who have merely spoken about the Dybbuk Box have suffered misfortune, illness, accidents, even death. Some believe the curse has spread, attaching itself to anyone who dares to hear its story. So if you ever come across an old, mysterious box, do not open it. Some things should remain untouched. Some spirits should never be disturbed. Because once you invite them in, they may never leave. If you want to hear more horrifying stories, like and subscribe to this channel.